Hello, this is Abi. We are going to talk about what do we really miss out when we are always busy, constantly busy. There must be something we leave behind. There must be something we really miss. But how would we know? We're going to talk about it today. I have with me here in Aroza Wellbeing Center in Dubai three beautiful souls, Dr. Farah, Tricia and Elise. Hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
Nice to have you here.
Thanks so much, Noor. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Doctor, what do we lose by missing out?
By
always being busy. Sorry.
Yeah. It's okay.
I'm busy.
You're busy. Your mind is busy. So yeah, I think so many different things. What are we busy doing? You know, that's
a good point.
Yeah, that's the first thing. Let's go there, right? What are we busy doing? Is it something that we that is giving us some sort of fulfillment? Are we achieving something by keeping busy, or is busy just because we're not managing our time well enough, or we have not planned well enough, you know, to factor in everything that we would like to get done? You know, what does busy mean? And then missing out now comes from, I guess, that concept of like prioritizing maybe, right? Because sometimes, okay, my perception is that as a doctor, because I've, you know, worked in emergency and you're going at a high pace. You're through medical school, training, you're working, you just, and especially when you now graduate, you're at that, you're at the bottom of the ladder, so you have to work your way up, and that's what it's like. So you are busy. Literally time is taken from you, and whatever time you have to rest to recuperate, right? So yes, there are many things that I've missed out on because events, family, gatherings, whatever it is. So you miss out with time with family. But for me, you know, I'm always about balance. So I try to get that back.
Right.
So it's not just, yes, I am busy, but when I do have my time or my free time that exists, I make sure and balance it and, you know, give the portions to everybody, or that at least will help me feel fulfilled, right? So whereas I might miss out on that event or that particular thing that happened that I'll never get back to experience, you know, but I can then just find a different way to do it. So I create my own, you know, if that makes sense.
Which is not easy.
It's not easy.
Not easy, but I'm glad you're putting something in return of balancing your life, which many people not doing, especially these days.
Yeah, because you have to stop to recognize. You have to stop to recognize, because life will pass you by.
Absolutely.
You know, without
in a flash.
Yeah, in a flash. You know, you get older and then you don't know what happened. Like, where did I spend the last 10 years of my life, or 20 years?
It's a typical scenario of retirement, right? I mean, everyone works until the very, very end, and then when they retire, they have a heart attack on the golf course or something, you know, because they've just been waiting for so long to slow down and enjoy life, and then it's a stress in itself to go from one to the other. So a little bit of balance throughout that whole process would make it a lot easier for the transition, and to also start building up some hobbies on the side, so that when you do finish working, if that's the case, you don't have such a big void.
I had that conversation actually with a client of mine this week. It's a young guy in his 20s, and he's working, and he's like, you know, I don't have time for anything. He's the only son, and he just feels the need that he has to keep working because work is stressful, overtime, whatever demands, you know. So I told him, you need to recognize that this is temporary. Granted, we all start our careers like this, and I'm so sure you'd be successful because of your dedication to your work, right? You will be successful, you have the drive. But then I told him, you need to think for 10 years down the line, when you have already figured out how to use your time better. But in my case, it's his health that I was concerned about. Like, you're not stopping to factor in what you're doing now. It's going to add up 10 years later. It's
going to affect you.
Yes, it will affect you. So I told him, like, when you retire, when you're at 50 or however old you want to retire, and you're ready to now enjoy life, but then your health tells you, well, you weren't taking care of me before, and now you have to show up, you know?
That's right.
So this is, you know, you have to start thinking, I mean, everything needs to work together, and that's the whole idea. So,
and as you said, balance.
Balance.
So I think that
balance
what we miss out on when we're super busy is rest. We miss out on rest. We miss out on time to hear our inner wisdom and to calm down and
heal.
Heal. How many people do you know go back to work way too early after not being well, you know, just because they're under that pressure to work, and then they don't really ever get very well. They get every bug that flies around. So,
and also when you have that, let's say you work, you have that week off, and then you get ill because you slow down. You pick up, you know, your body needs
your
time
body
to heal.
tells you, your body tells you it's time to rest.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, if you don't listen to your mind that says I'm really tired, your body will do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It will force you into that rule.
When you really,
right?
I mean, I know of someone at the moment who absolutely refuses to act on his awareness that his job is not good for him, the environment is not healthy for him, the hours are not right for him, he's in totally the wrong environment for him. He's broken his foot a few months ago, then he got COVID, then he got another infection on top of it, then he went to hospital with pneumonia, and now he's broken his leg.
Oh,
wow.
dear.
It's like messages.
I said to him, hello, come in number 2, your time is up again. I mean, you know, when will he get the message? And maybe this is enough. But it is true that, you know, the fear of missing out, FOMO, right? The fear of missing out keeps us going and going and going, but then we miss out on so much more.
No, but you create the problem, right? You also create that problem where you are not. You see, when you're filling a basket, you have to look at your life with many baskets, and you can't just concentrate on 1 or 2 baskets. You have to put
everything in one.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
That's easy.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Exactly, it's easy. But then,
you
what
lose the
happens?
basket.
You lose the basket.
You lose everything.
Yeah,
Everything,
exactly.
yes, because
You lose
underneath the
everything.
basket, or what's holding onto the basket, is you and your health.
Very true.
That's really, I mean, without your health, what is there left?
Yes.
Exactly.
What is
That's
there
very
left?
true.
Yeah,
You know?
and you know, as you mentioned, work. You know, that's my that's my specialty, right? The occupational health side of things. So there's so many different perceptions and health beliefs when it comes to work and health. And what baffles me the most is that people still look at work and health as 2 separate entities.
things.
Exactly. It's like you're either working or you're healthy, or you know. This is really not how it should be.
Well,
you know?
also I'm interested also in the fact that people think, well, I'll eat well and I'll exercise well, but I won't look after this. I'll completely ignore
flip
this.
side,
Which is the core of everything
This
else.
leads this.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Not this leads this.
It goes
You're right.
together, you know. Everything goes together. And
That's
the
what
main
we
point.
teach in our mindfulness courses.
Exactly.
What do we teach?
We teach people how to slow down, to enjoy every moment. And actually, I wanted to share this book. It's the things that we can see only when you slow down. So this is written by a Buddhist monk who has some very nice quotes, and I recommend if you've not read it, it's a really good book. He says, "We know the world only through the window of our mind. When our mind is noisy, the world is as well. And when our mind is peaceful, the world is too. Knowing our mind is just as important as trying to change the world."
Yes.
Exactly.
Change your mind, change the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's very true.
We need time. We need to take time to be less busy so that we can have more self-reflection, so that we know.
Exactly.
You know what surprised me sometimes when people is very. I mean, Dubai is very cosmopolitan place, international place. We have people from everywhere. Which is not secret. But I had a friend lately who planning to come to Dubai, and she said, "I want to go everywhere in 5 days." And I said, "What do you mean everywhere? Dubai is so huge, and there are so many places to go to. Why don't you, plan to go somewhere this time, few places, we will enjoy them fully, and the next time you continue. And let's say during these 5 days we will go to 10 places. 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon or evening. That's 10. She was planning to go to, I'm not joking, 36 or 37 places.
Oh my God.
And I said, how on earth, unless I have a helicopter, okay, and then I'll just, how about I take you really on a helicopter and I say, this is the place you want to go to, and this is the place you want to go to.
We have great breakfast there, but we're not going to do that.
Exactly, we're not going to do that.
We don't
Skip
have time,
that.
so we're going to have a look at over there.
Don't worry, I've had, you always have visitors, right? So I have my express tour as well. Yeah, so we go, you take a picture, you go, you take a picture. You could say I've been there, you can post it on Instagram, I've been there. But That's the express door. We're not talking about experiences. I mean, I think the experience at that point in time is joking and laughing in the car, getting from one place to the other.
Wow.
That's where the bonding goes, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it's how you view it, right? It comes back to the perception, right? It's how we see life, it's how it will be.
And through our eyes and how we filter it, that's what we see the world as. And so if we're saying to ourselves, oh, I've got to do this and I've got to do that and I've got to do this and I've got to do that, telling ourselves that has just taken up 3 minutes or 4 minutes. And the impact that has on us can make us almost feel a little paralyzed. We might sit down a little bit longer and think about all those things that we've got to do rather than actually doing them.
Or you might just be so overwhelmed that your brain is not functioning and you're not able to give your full capacity to whatever it is you're actually doing, because you have a million other thoughts about what else that you have to do. What's next? So what do I have to do? And that's why I think proper planning is really key. You know, you got to think about it. So even before I cook, I
How
map
long
out.
will it take?
Not even that. I go way beyond that. I go like I map it out in my head. Okay, I need to get this from this cupboard. I need to get this. Like I piece it together. It takes a few minutes just to piece together where I need to go. When I enter the kitchen, it's just go because I've already mapped it out. I don't have to like say, oh, which cupboard is this in? You know that kind of thing, and you search. I already mapped it out. So that
you know, you're reminding me of something I experienced and I read lately actually. You have to map out everything, which I'm very similar to you. You know, being a pilot, I imagine the runway, taxiway, which gateway, who's going to be here, radio, takeoff, etc., etc. Approach. So lately, I read somewhere, and I had this discussion, deep discussion with some professor. He said, somehow statistically, people with lower IQ are more successful in business than people with higher IQ, because people with higher IQ, they think and calculate every bit of it. But those people with lower IQ doesn't mean they're stupid. No, they just happen to go, why not? Let's try. But how about calculating everything? You know, people with higher IQ, oh, absolutely, they will calculate A to Z. And as you said,
but there are people like that, aren't there? There are people who could do it on the, they wing it. They go on the fly. I can't do that. That wastes so much time for me. I have to see myself, just as you say, mapping it. I wouldn't have said mapping until today, but I see myself doing it before I'm doing it. Or I see myself even going somewhere before I go there, thinking, do I really want to do that? And then I decide after having seen it. But I can't just sort of easily rock up and wing it, because I have to
can't do it.
Right.
I can't do it. My biggest problem is, being in an airline and before as well, it's not helping. I have a checklist where so many people, they don't approve.
Relying on you.
Exactly. Oh, I have a checklist. If I get into my car, Elise knows what I'm talking about. I will sit for 3 seconds. I'll take a deep breath and I say, right, where am I going?
Right.
Yeah.
Why? What do I need? And then why? Because I'm worried that if I go to that place and I'm not having what I'm supposed to have, I hate coming back because Dubai is busy anyway.
Exactly.
And I don't want to do it without exactly. But when I've been with many people. Let's say we went to the market, and the guy forgot his wallet or credit card or something, and he said no problem. And I said, what do you mean no problem? He said, it's okay, let's do window shopping. I said, oh my God, he just converted it. And guess what? When we went back to the house, he opened the internet and he selected wherever he had seen, and he bought it online, cheaper, 20%. And he said, see, Abby, if I brought my wallet, and I said, wow. But you can't win every time. I can understand what my friend, the professor, said. People with lower IQ tend to have more successful businesses.
I also think it's what you then project onto it. If I think I'm missing out, that's going to make me feel miserable. It's going to make me feel lonely and disconnected and left alone and out in the cold, whereas I might be very much enjoying what I'm already doing, but I lose sight of it because I'm over there now with those people having that barbecue and I'm sitting here not having the barbecue, when I'm here because I want to be here after all. I'm not being forced. I'm here because this is my priority right now. So if I enjoy my activity, then,
I spoke to a student and she's doing some marvelous studies actually about her favorite topic. She is going through the fear of missing out. She said, you know what, Abby, when I sit in my room and I study the books I'm supposed to study, in her mind a picture of her friend celebrating in somebody's apartment, and they're celebrating something, a party or birthday or something. She said, I should be there, but if I'm there, I'm not going to pass my exams with flying colors. And I said, then that's it, you solved the problem. What do you want? Exactly what he said, what do you want?
But you see, it's important too, like you can't overburden yourself, and I completely hear what she is, because I've been there, right? But I would be the crazy one, sorry, I'd be the crazy one to say that, okay, I've had enough in the library, go watch a football match for 2 hours and come back, right? Because that's my relaxation, that's my enjoyment, that gives me motivation to live again. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and to go again.
Balance.
But yeah, and it's balancing it, because technically we can't, I mean, as much as we want to achieve what we want to achieve, and we think by being constantly working towards it, that's where we would achieve success. But you could still achieve success by keeping the balance with the time.
Of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
Productivity doesn't always mean
equate success, right?
Exactly.
So, and that's where I think where your professor was talking about the calculations, you know, because we put so over, exactly, that's what I was heading towards, right? Is that you go over and beyond what is actually necessary to get the job done, right? Sometimes you just have to let go and recognize that I did the
what I've
preparation,
done,
it's
there
enough.
are other things.
Let me just go bold and let's see. Because at the end of the day, we are not in charge, right? We're not fully in control of what the outcome would be.
No.
We just make the best of
what
whatever
we can do.
No.
Always do the best we can.
Yeah.
Sure.
Point.
On that note, tell us more. Tell us, do you really go through the fear of missing out? And if you do, write to us. Tell us, please. We would like to hear. Is it helping or is it not helping? We would love to hear from you. But on that note, we would like to say thank you very much for listening to us. Hope to see you soon. And for now, bye-bye.